What's up, everyone? Today we're going to be working on the V10. Now, as you can see, we've had a substantial amount done, and unfortunately my GoPro is getting to be about 2 years old and we're having a bit of problems. So there is a little bit of footage missing, as well as at one point I was supposed to be filming in regular mode and it filmed in time-lapse. So let's kind of go over what we're going through here and what we're going to be looking at this video. Now, this looks substantially better than what it did. Everything inside's clean. We cleaned the top of the pistons. I've been working on this on and off for about a week now. I did start the video with, the timing chain was supposed to be there the next day, and it took a while to get it. So, new timing chain in there. The old one's actually sitting on the old Buick right there. We have all new core plugs inside here, and I gotta say, I'm very excited about how this is turning out. So let's go ahead, hop into the content where we start off by pulling the pulley off, which, it being kind of the same way the LS pulleys are, I was expecting it to pull off a lot harder, but instead of Harbor Freight 3-jaw pulley pullers, boom. Pretty straightforward. I was actually surprised, because the last time I tried using one of those was on one of these LS engines, and suffice to say, it doesn't have the guts to do it. So very pleased with that. And then after that, we flipped the engine over and we worked on checking out the clearances on the crank. Now, I only showed the first one, but I went through all of it. Our overall tolerances are, I would like to say, like just about 2. So we're at 2 thou. We're really nice. This block is very, very happy. Now, it's got, like I said, between 70 and 90,000, I can't remember exactly what it is, miles on it, and the actual bearings look very good. We could replace the bearings, but you do get these things to a point where they're happy, and it's more stress on the vehicle to replace the actual main bearings and the connecting rod bearings if you don't need to. So let's go ahead, hop into the content. I'm sorry we have some issues. I'm definitely going to have to start thinking about buying a new camera, which my money goes into parts, so it makes it a little bit difficult, but we will make sure that the content continues, and we will try to avoid losing content like we did in this video. So hope you guys enjoy. I know I am very, very excited about how this thing is turning out and how really awesome it looks. Now, I keep saying now because there's a lot going on, and unfortunately we lost some footage, but I will be working on the heads very shortly, so hopefully we'll have the top end done by the end of the week. And that's it. Let's hop into the video, guys. So yeah, like I said, I'll try to start saving up for a new GoPro, or maybe even a more fancy camera. But if you guys are interested, what I have been using for the past 2 years, it's this one single GoPro, is it a 7 Black Pro Hero? I don't know. It's the GoPro 7 that's got the removable lens, and it doesn't like recording in the cold anymore, and it doesn't like recording in the heat. So yep, I'm gonna have to start looking at buying a new camera. Sucks. All right, guys, let's hop into it. So where we're at right now is we've knocked out all of the old core plugs and replaced them with new ones. Now, I left one intact so we can knock it out. Now, this is just a big Allen key that I've cut for a different project, so it's just to knock things out for this particular application. The goal is to not knock it into the engine now. We want to be able to get it back out. So pick one side. A chisel works well. Flathead screwdriver works well. We're just gonna give her a few taps until she starts to spin, like so. And then, where did I put my flathead screwdriver? Put that right on the edge of it and continue spinning it around. All right, that's good enough to grab it with a pair of pliers. Hopefully we can get it out. There we go. So I'll have to scrape a little bit more around here because we want to make sure we have a nice surface to finish cleaning this up. I want to rewire brush this off. I just put it on there to protect it so it wouldn't rust more. Not that it should down in my workshop here, but there you go. Next, we're going to take some emery, clean this out. Once it's clean, we're going to put some Indian head lacquer in there and just tap that one in. So I'll be right back. Let me clean this up and we'll pick up after that. So a little bit of Indian head shellac. Now you can also use other things. You could definitely look inside your manual depending on what they want you to use. Sometimes it's just like a type of RTV. I find this stuff works fairly well. Don't do it without it. We recently did an experiment to see if they would leak afterwards, and they do. So definitely use some type of gasket material. Then, here's the other thing that I see a lot of people doing. They'll take a socket, and it fits snug on the inside of here. Not the biggest fan of that. That could stretch it. Especially when you get into the brass ones. So you're going to set that in there like so. And you're going to get a socket that is the same diameter as the actual piece itself. And then we're going to just go ahead and knock that home. Now, this one in particular is a special kind of socket, so I want to kind of protect it. So I'll just throw one of the old ones over it, just so I don't hurt it. Now they make kits, tool kits, specifically for driving these home. I don't own one of those. It'd be cool, but just try to keep it centered. Drive it in evenly. Don't hit your finger. Now we're starting to drive it into the block. Get a little bit of depth in it. Nice. Nice. That's all she is. Now we'll go ahead, clean it all up, and put a coat of primer down on this. Also, I went ahead and scuffed the oil pan. This is the one that we went ahead and put baffles in the previous video. So, you know, the little things that all add up and save you money as you go. I highly recommend that if these things are already brass and they're not leaking, you know, leave them in there. But these were steel and very rusty, so it was just time for them to go away. So yeah, done. Paint, flip her over. We have a lot. We're not going to paint this right now. We're going to paint this separately, but we'll do all the way up to the actual paint itself, primers and stuff like that, and then we'll paint it all one color down the road. All right, guys, as you can see, we've skipped ahead quite a bit. Unfortunately, the GoPro is starting to have some interesting problems, including, for some reason, recording in time-lapse mode. Anyways, this is a website I highly recommend. I'll put it in the description down below. It will cover all your torque specifications for most of your engines that you will encounter, everything from a Honda to Caterpillar. So just head over down to the section Chrysler 8.0 and you get your specifications for this beautiful engine here. Now, the issue we're going to be looking for is any problems with the main or the connecting rod bearings, is not only like the tolerances, but galling, heat spots, stuff like that. I only show the first main because it's tedious and it would take decades to go through all of it. But I pop it open. I don't see any real problems actually at all. There's no hot spots. We crank it down 20, and then if you go to this website, you'll actually see that the torque specifications are 20 and then 85. So first time around's 20. It's not half. People are telling me that you have to torque it down half, and then no, it's 20 and then 85. Once you have it torqued down to your specifications, you then go ahead, take the cap back off. Now, something I didn't mention that you should have done before you put your plastic gauge in there is do a quick little wipe with a nice clean microfiber cloth or something. Knock the oil off. after you're all done, I highly, highly recommend to lubricate it, preferably with assembly lube. In this case, our tolerances were 2 thou, and we have to be between 1 and 3. So we're perfect, and which I was surprised. Not super surprised. I figured it'd be like maybe 3 thou, but no, we were at 2. I was impressed. So again, I'm very impressed with how they designed this engine and what materials they used during manufacturing. Some people may say, well, you have it apart now, replace all your bearings while you have it apart. But I would recommend, if there's not a problem, to use the bearings that are in there, because the engine is happy with them already. They're going to be, perfect. Well, guys, it's a little over a week later, and, well, it finally came. We finally got our timing chain. So that means we can replace this timing chain, get the gaskets, so that this whole bottom end is ready to go. I am working on the heads as well. As you guys know, that I did get that extra donor truck. So we have nice cleaning the heads as we speak. We'll replace the core plugs on those so that, well, they're ready to go. I gotta say, I am so happy to finally have this timing chain. I can't believe it sat down at the Albany Distribution Center for over a week. Just something so simple, holding you up like that. All right, guys, let's go throw that on there, get the gaskets, and we'll come back right after I get the actual chain on. Simple process while you have the engine out. It's definitely one of those, while you're here, you might as well take care of it. It's a, I don't know, $50 chain or something like that. Not that expensive in the long term, especially if you think about how much time you would have into pulling the chain off while it's inside the truck. So while we have it on a stand, like I said, might as well take care of it. The old one didn't seem to be too worn, but very simple. Pop it, put it back on. The actual teeth look fantastic. I don't see any adverse wear on them. Like I said, this engine only has around 70,000 miles on it, so it's really not that terrible. 70 or 90, something like that. It looks fantastic inside. So, all right, now new gaskets. Pop the cover back on, and oh, I did check to see if the actual pump was in tolerances, and all you have to do is just take the back plate out, put some shim, or the feeler gauges, and I almost called them shims. Put the feeler gauges in there, make sure they're within tolerance. Perfect. Which is great, because for $250 some odd, you'd have to have the whole thing replaced. So that saves us a substantial amount of money right there. It's not the prettiest thing in the world, but I think she'll be really nice looking inside that old 81. I'll tell you what. All right, back to it. Get gaskets and get going. And other than I have a lot of cleaning up to do now, the bottom end of the engine is done. We've cleaned up all we can. It's in very good shape. I'm actually very impressed by how good shape it is. We have the harmonic balancer back on, timing chain done, the gaskets all taken care of. We are just about ready to start putting the heads together and put them on. Of course, we still have to get the proper crankshaft position sensor. That's broken, and then I accidentally broke the one off of the other donor engine. Unfortunately, it was just so cold and brittle that broke off. Water pump, things like that. We have a lot of peripheral things we need to take care of before we're ready to crank her over, but this thing looks really awesome, guys. Really awesome. I can't wait to see the rest of it on the top of it. You know what? I can't wait to see this thing in the 81 Ram. All right, guys, that's all I have for this video today. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you're looking forward to seeing this thing carried on to the next phase, which of course is the heads, the intake manifold, and all that fun stuff. And then once we get all our peripheral things, we can try cranking her up. Guys, have yourselves a wonderful day. And as always, keep her shiny side up, and God bless.